For Olympian Clara Hughes, it's been one podium after another, as the only athlete in history to medal in both the Summer and Winter Games. And now an honorary Doctor of Laws from York University for her athleticism and her mental health advocacy.
I went through depression as a young athlete, and I struggled for a good 2 years with severe depression, and it took me away from my job for those 2 years.
Now a new report has found the burden of mental health and addictions is much greater than suspected.
When we compared it to, for example, all cancers, we were surprised to see that the select mental illnesses and addictions that we studied had over 1.5 times the burden of all cancers in Ontario and over 7 times the burden of all infectious diseases in Ontario.
Though mental health issues often do not lead to death, they do have a big impact on pain, ability to function, social relationships, and quality of life. Lauren Dickler was a university student in 2005 when she realized she just wasn't herself anymore.
I couldn't get out of bed. I'd spend days in bed crying.
Then she received the diagnosis she didn't want to hear.
I wanted to hear you have cancer, because that would have been better than you have depression.
In one survey, 50% of people would tell a family member that they had a mental illness, in comparison to 75% that would tell a family member that they have something like cancer.
Though talk therapy and medications can be effective treatments, many don't seek help.
In one study, it was, I think, 54% of those diagnosed with a severe depression did not seek treatment, in comparison to 40% of those with moderate depression.
Lauren says she was on the verge of harming herself when she found the treatment that worked for her. She says she's now in remission.
The antidepressants, it was talking about it, it was being with people who understood what I was going through, that corrected itself, like something corrected itself in my brain is the best way I can explain it.
Many don't recognize depression or would rather think that it's something else. In an average year, there will be 400,000 new cases diagnosed of depression, bipolar disorder, and other mental health diseases and addictions. Often mental health issues emerge early in life, can last for years, and are very common.
They're very common, and yet it's hard to get treatment.
That's very difficult.
Flip side of this information.
And it's hoped that this report perhaps will help change policy.
All right, Bea, thank you.
You're welcome.